Oppenheimer is the best movie of the year. It's going to sweep the Oscars. That is my review. Thank you for watching. No, seriously, welcome to my Oppenheimer review. This movie blew me away. I knew it would, but it just exceeded my expectations. I was mind blown and I'm still processing it. If I look really tired right now, it's because I was literally lying in my bed last night and some scenes from the movie were just flying through my head. I was analysing things, I was processing things. This movie is just something that I've never seen before. So let's dive into everything that I thought about it. Give Cillian Murphy his Oscar. Just give it to him now. There's no point in arguing it. Obviously, yeah, people will argue about that, but I personally think he is insane in this. He is just emotional, he's powerful, he's scary, but he's also really someone that you can vouch for. I just can't put into words how great this performance by Cillian Murphy was. It is above and beyond his best performance that he's ever done in anything. I will say that personally. He's great in Peaky Blinders. He's great in other movies that he's been in. But this is the moment that everybody's like, right, this dude deserved this. Christopher Nolan has worked with him on so many different occasions. He's been a supporting actor in many different movies in Christopher Nolan's catalogue. This is the first time he's given him a leading part. And wow. I just think he stole the show and he was the perfect casting for this role and he just blew me away. I'm speechless about his performance. You might as well give Robert Downey Jr. an Oscar as well because he's going to be up there for supporting actor 100%. Now obviously when other movies come out and other movies are put into categories, he might not win it, but personally I think that when the Oscars come around, he is definitely going to be up there for supporting actor. I thought his performance opposite Oppenheimer was phenomenal. They barely have any screen time together, but just his performance, his line delivery, just the way he is, his aura on screen was just something that elevated the movie for me. And I loved the plot line between him and Oppenheimer and what was going on. And I just thought he was so good. Emily Blunt was phenomenal as well. Florence Pugh was also great, but she probably wasn't as fleshed out as some of the other characters were, but it's understandable because she is a part of Oppenheimer's early life, although she does play a pivotal part in shaping who he is as a person. But the part that I'm most excited to talk about here is Ludwig Goransson's score. I actually haven't been able to get it out of my brain, especially one of the songs called Can You Hear the Music? It is literally etched in my brain and it played in one of the best scenes of the movie. I actually am just still processing it and it was so scary and harrowing and daunting, but also the music like swelled up and turned into this like impactful bass that was just blowing me away in IMAX. And I was literally sitting there in my seat and I was like, what the hell am I literally experiencing right now? Because I've never experienced something like this in a cinema before. And maybe since I went to see this in IMAX, everything was heightened. And if that is the case, then go and see this in IMAX. Like I'm telling you now, I've not experienced something like this before. The bass, my seat was completely shaking. And of course, that is IMAX. But this is a movie that has very little action. And it's a movie that has talking and dialogue for 90% of the entire runtime. To have a score so impactful over scenes that are literally just people talking is next level. And the part that I have to talk about the most is obviously the bomb that everybody is going to be going, well, I'm saying going to see this for, but when you talk about Oppenheimer, you talk about a bomb going off and it's going to blow people away. Some people, not me, some people are going to be disappointed by it and others are going to think that it's absolutely peak cinema. Now, unfortunately, when a movie gets built up so much over one particular part of it, the hype and the expectations for that are through the roof. Now, I think that the scene was perfect. The build up to the scene, oh my God, my heart was literally racing. And I've seen people all over Twitter and TikTok saying the same thing. And it's just that 10 minutes maybe before where the entire Los Alamos desert and facility are getting ready for this bomb to go off. It really has you sitting there on the edge of your seat, scared for what is going to happen. And it was one of the best moments in the entire movie. The character of Oppenheimer says one of his most iconic quotes right before you hear that bang, and I just think it was perfect. But my favorite scene in the entire movie was the speech scene. I don't really want to give a spoiler about this scene because when you see it you'll know it, but just know that it's the moment where Oppenheimer is giving a speech after the bomb has gone off in Japan. And that scene, like he's standing like this, right, like I'm him, and the walls behind him and stuff are shaking, and the score is building up. The crowd, I'm not going to say spoiler, but the crowd, some things happen, he sees some things, the music just absolutely takes you over that you can't process anything else. I'm geeking out here just thinking about it again, but it was just my favorite scene in the movie. Obviously there was other scenes that were very close to it, especially the ending. A lot of people are going to leave the theater feeling very sad because that ending is deep, and obviously there's something that's built up between Oppenheimer and Albert Einstein for the whole movie, and you're kind of like, oh, what did they say to each other? At the very end you find out what Einstein and Oppenheimer said to each other that you see earlier on in the movie. When you find out what Oppenheimer said, it really makes you leave the theater being like, oh god, we are experiencing exactly what he said right now. And I think that is one of the things that a lot of people are going to have stuck in their brain from this movie, because it's very relevant and it's something that we've lived through and we probably might live through again. But look, this review is already mega long and I'm sorry, but I just have so much to say about this movie. Cinematography, phenomenal. This is one of Christopher Nolan's best movies. I'm just going to say it as it is. I really loved it. This is my favorite movie of the year so far. There's no point in even denying that it is. I absolutely loved it. I didn't feel the 3 hours. It felt like maybe 2.5 hours. So take from that what you will. But overall, I'm going to give Oppenheimer a 10 out of 10, 5 stars. It's just an absolute experience that I have never had before. Especially seeing it in IMAX blew me away. Oppenheimer, it's out now. Have you seen it? If you have, let me know your thoughts below and stay tuned for the next one.